Every once in a while, I'll just be like, well, her mom probably got this. If anything, it's a disadvantage because people in the office are like sometimes overly cautious.
It's almost like they've looked at Sam and tried to not give her any special treatment to her detriment, I would have to say. But it's been a benefit to Sam because she has been exposed to these great kids at an early age. So there's been some good and some bad.
It really has nothing to do with the fact that her mom is sitting in the office. We are really evaluate the gymnasts based on their own performances.
Yeah. Just because her mom works for the Gymnastics Federation, no. I mean, I was on the box of Wheaties, so should my 4 daughters be on the box of Wheaties? No. It doesn't work that way.
Coming up next.
Absolutely amazing amount of pressure. They are judged every time they come into the gym.
I think this is like the hardest thing for people to understand.
I would go to bed every night picturing myself on that medal stand with the American flag and our national anthem and me standing up there.
At the 1984 Olympics, a little-known diminutive girl named Mary Lou Retton faced the vault of her lifetime, score a perfect mark on the vault, and win the overall gold medal.
And I remember saying, okay, this is it, Mary Lou. I mean, the next 3-second vault is going to determine whether or not that vision comes true of whether or not you win that gold. And I was actually smiling before my feet hit the floor. Sam, I love deep down because she's my kind of gymnast. She's not the long ballet, as they say, graceful gymnast. She's strong, she's powerful, she is explosive.
Mary Lou was so powerful, and I think that's Sam's body type as well. She's short and compact and very powerful. So you kind of have to go with what God gave you and just pursue it that way.
Very nice, very nice.
Samantha has very high A scores, which means difficulty level. So that's important with the new code of points because they look at the difficulty level of your routine as well as how you do it, which is the B score.
When she vaults, it explodes. When she tumbles, it's huge.
Beautiful, Sammy.
Because of her compact body style and the muscles and the strength and the quick twitch ability that Sam has, that's what enables her to get the power and the amplitude in all of her moves that is going to put her just a step above.
I do a double-double on the floor, and, very few people in the world do it because it's such a tricky skill.
In the United States, only the 2 can do it. In China, I know there has one record right now is probably only 3 kids can do it. And this is the hard skills.
I think that's the fun part of gymnastics for me is to show everybody, hey, look what cool skills that I learned and just to do stuff that not everyone can do.
Samantha is so strong within her compact frame that in her younger days, she at times relied too heavily on her physical gifts.
I would sit in the meetings with Peter, her coach, and he would say, she's so talented, but she won't focus. She's just playing and joking and having fun with her friends. She needs to focus. You need to have her focus.
It's crazy. If I would have a rough workout or something and then the next day would be the meet and I would just have the best meet of my life, everyone would be like, that's not fair, how can you do that? It's always been in me that I just know how to compete.
She might be having a problem with the skill during warm-ups, and we wouldn't worry because when she raised her hand, she was on. That was hard for her at first because they would expect her to do well at the ranch in practice, and that was kind of new to her, She was like, what? But she figured it out really quick because you don't get assignments unless you do well at the ranch.
The ranch, as it's famously nicknamed, is the Caroli Gymnastics Ranch outside of Houston. Marta Caroli, wife of Bella, now coaches the U.S. women's team at the ranch and hosts all the girls and their coaches once every 4 to 6 weeks.
We have the national team training center at the ranch, and this is a special system what we try to implement here, which would fit the American society.
We didn't have it in the past, and so the girls would be competing against each other all year. And didn't know each other, and then, okay, now they're the Olympic team, and they go, yeah, right.
Other countries, China, can take their athletes when they're very young to a training system and live away from their families. Obviously, it wouldn't work here in the USA. I would never give my daughter Sam to somebody and have somebody else raise her.
The recent success of the system is due in large part to the extreme expectations of Marta. Every trip to the ranch brings the pressure of her glare.
Every time you go to the ranch, there is what they call a verification, and that means that you have to compete on each of the 4 events. And so, yes, there's a competition every time you go.
We intentionally want this situation to have a little bit of pressure because we will have a lot of pressure at Olympic Games or any world level competition. So this is part of our training.
Absolutely amazing amount of pressure. They are judged every time they come into the gym, whether it's for workout or whether it's for competition.
You kind of have to get into a rhythm, into a system with your coach at home before you actually go to the ranch, before you actually go to these competitions.
It's brutal and really stressful. Marta is watch over every single move, and every single testing is going to be counted in the record book.
They know that Marta means business. You have to continually show her that you belong with that group, or she just won't pay attention to you. The more attention you get from Marta, the better.
She's there, giving you corrective criticism, and sometimes it's hard to take, but you just have to take it in the way that that can help your gymnastics, and you can't be pushed down. You're compared to the other girls that are there, and sometimes it gets difficult because you don't know what they're doing, and they don't know what you're doing, so it's kind of like a competition.
They can see who's learning what skills, and it really motivates them to, wow, I better work a little harder in this area because I'm falling behind.
It's like a reunion every time we come and see each other. We just hang out, visit each other in our rooms, but at the same time, we're supposed to be really focused. I think this is the hardest thing for people to understand because truthfully, those are some of my best friends. It's just so crazy. They're my best friends, but yet we still compete against each other.
I'll walk in the house, Shayla Worley's on the other end, or Nastia, or whatever.
I text them or talk to them at least once a day, or, if we haven't talked for like a day, I'll text them like, where are you? Are you still alive? When we're on the competition floor, we're not like, oh, I hope you fall, but we're more just like, focusing on ourselves and not other people as much.
They all know that they're fighting for their spot, and they all want to do well themselves, but I don't think that they ever hope that someone else doesn't do well.
You never wish for your opponent to go fall on beam or to hurt themselves, but just you always want to do just a little bit better. I always did.
Coming up next.
You're so proud to be an American at that time, and then you step back and you go, wait a minute, that's my daughter representing America.
I think the sport as a whole, because they're in the gym, they're just fighting just to be better. They don't really realize what they've done. Sam's self-confidence is a little lacking, and she needs to believe in herself a lot more because she's a very talented athlete.
Even she on the national team, she still realized, I'm not that good to be Olympian. I think last year, she know, I'm good enough. I may make it little by little as a progression.
Samantha Peszek reached the pinnacle of U.S. gymnastics when she was named to the national team in 2007.
Once she got on the national team, there was a change in her. It became a lot more serious, and you could tell that her goals had changed.
The World Championships last year made a huge difference. She was on that stage, that international stage, and they had success. And I think she really saw, you know what, I can do this.
When they won the gold medal, that is probably one of the most exciting, if not the most exciting sports moment of my entire life. You're so proud to be an American at that time, and then you step back and you go, wait a minute, that's my daughter representing America.